Usually at this time of the month, I would be completely organized and I would give you a flip through of everything I've done in the current month we're in my signature. And then we would move on to start creating the next month, which is June, and all would be good. But at this point, I am completely unorganized and I feel overwhelmed because of it. The signature is pretty much in the same state that you have seen it in my Plan With Me May video. I feel very embarrassed. Look how thin it still is. It's incredible. So if you've missed the making of this planner, please check out my Plan With Me playlist linked below. You will see how I made this from a paper bag. Can't believe how thin this still is. If you know my Plan With Me videos, especially where you see the Plan With Me making of this, I compare it to my previous journal, which has filled up already with the previous 4 months of 2024. So I figured rather than trying to play catch up on my own, let's just do this together, because this is the part you actually never see. So I thought, let's just hang out and catch up together and we'll see what happens. I have so many things here that I want to add in my planner, at least partially. I haven't added my fitness tracker nor my book tracker. And speaking of books, we have a whole lot to talk about concerning books as well. We're going to do something different concerning ephemera for June. This video might be all over the place. I wanted to write a to-do and I realized I don't even have a to-do list. Look, we are here now. When I'm filming now, it's Tuesday. You cannot see. When we're filming, it's Tuesday, May 21. And look, there is nothing. There's no journaling card or anything I could put any to-dos on. What? I don't think I've ever been in this situation. The reason why I'm in this situation is because I've been away and I've been working non-stop on the memory book for my brother's 60th birthday. I will also link that playlist below. By the time this video is up, I will have posted the making of the hardcover and I will have posted making decorative pages, which I'm using as part of my pages for the memory book. And of course, we are also going to add the June pages. I'm going to share my kit with you, obviously. I don't even know where to start. Let me start by adding my steps so far. So there's my step tracker. This kit was called Pedal and Prose. You can find this particular kit linked below my Plan With Me May video. So I have a list here of my steps, so I can at least fill it out till the 20th. Let me grab my marker. This is the wrong yellow. Actually, let's use pink for this month. This is so satisfying. And here where I don't have so many steps, I was actually in Egypt and we were by the water a lot. So first of all, I wasn't always wearing my Fitbit and obviously it didn't count as swimming. So that's why my count is lower here, but that's okay. I also want to add my fitness tracker, which goes at the end of the signature. But I don't want to add it here on this blank page. I want to add a background on which to add this onto. I printed one from the new kit. No, I need one from the previous kit from the Pedals and Prose. So let me just print another page. Oh, I already have some. My goodness, I'm so unorganized. This is incredible. So I can just take this one and cut it down. This really confirms to me that I need organization in my life. I don't do well when things are not planned, not organized, and I'm all over the place. So to glue my pages down, I always use my art glitter glue with the fine metal tip. and just go around the page once. It's a very small amount of glue, doesn't need any more. Don't need any glue in the middle, doesn't use up too much glue. Okay, so then I can add my fitness tracker on top. For my planner, I am not precious at all. I need things to be quick and functional, but of course I want them to look pretty as well because I really enjoy looking back through the planners. By the way, I do have a flip through coming up of my previous 4-month planner. So let's just quickly fill these in as well. So my cardio is yellow. This is a freebie, by the way. You can find that on my Ko-fi site. My Ko-fi site is linked below in the description box. So here I'm defining my colors for strength training and for cardio. So the way I do this is, these are minutes here on this axis, and I go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. I'm back to strength training. Yay, I'm so happy. I started the day after I got back from Egypt. So twice a week I do strength training. That takes an hour. Then I add an hour of cardio, and once to twice a week I will go and just do cardio. So started off the week here yesterday, Monday, with strength and cardio, and I think I'll go again today to do some cardio. And here, of course, I was in Egypt, but I'm so happy I get to do strength training again. Finally, I'd say before we add some things in here, let me show you the new kit because I know you are curious. I'm so excited to introduce my digital paper set for this month called the Mask Wallpaper. This collection features 2 different sets, each containing 14 beautifully designed backgrounds. The first set comes in elegant neutral colors, perfect for any classic or sophisticated project. The second set offers muted colors that provide a subtle yet charming touch to your creations. What's great about these sets is that you can mix and match them as you like because they all fit together seamlessly, giving you endless possibilities for your designs. And this month, I've decided to try something new for the ephemera, but I'll talk more about that later in the video, so stay tuned. So usually I would have all my pages in here already glued into the signatures, but I don't. So I have them printed out here. I print them out with the white edge because if I print them without border, they're too large for these papers, which are A4 folded in half. So I'm going to cut away all those borders, and I need to stamp all the days for my month, and then I'll cut off this 10K step tracker. I don't use the habit tracker, but I have it for you in case you like to use it. And then I need to add all of my weeklies for the month. Of course, I'm going to ink up all my pages as well. So that's going to take a while. So I have all my papers cut and inked up. They are ready to be glued in, except of course I need to add all the stamping. So I use 3 different kinds of stamps. For the title of the month, I use this 12-digit rubber stamp. I have one of these linked for you below. Love this. For the days here for the month, I use these. I think these were from one of the Your Creative Studio boxes. And then for the weeks, for these, I use this one here. This was also from one of the Your Creative Studio boxes. And because my stomach was growling, I also made myself a protein shake. This is basically my substitute for morning coffee because I don't drink coffee. I never got into it, never liked the taste, although I love the smell. Also the smell of coffee dyed papers, so yummy. So I'm going to have that while I start stamping. I usually wouldn't drink a protein snack until after my cardio workout, which I try to get in the morning. But I get to be here with you instead. So I'm going to drink this now and go for cardio in the afternoon. And for those of you that are interested what I put in my protein shake, I use vegan protein powder. I add half a banana, flax seeds, hemp seeds, cinnamon, ginger powder, and that's it. Let me know what you eat or drink in the morning. I'm assuming most of you are coffee drinkers. So once I have everything stamped, I can add the pages to my planner. I'm not going to glue this title page in yet because I want to add the month, and that is easier to do when it's not glued in yet. So we'll leave that loose for now. And then I'll start with my monthly overview on this page. Then comes my tracker. And then I start with all my weeks. Oh, this goes together quite well. I love it. I love how versatile these papers are this month. This I will leave empty for now. We'll see what to do with that later. And then we'll continue with the weeks here. So I only have one more week to go, but I have 2 more double spreads. So I can leave one empty and then continue here. So I always add 4 pages folded in half to each signature. Plus I add a couple of smaller bits like paper bags like I've done here. And then for the last page here, again, I'm going to add my fitness tracker. So I'll add this page first as a background. My goodness, the contrast of this fabric here on the inside cover and these wallpapers. It's amazing. I love it. I know for a lot of you this is too loud, and I would agree with you. It is very loud for me as well, but I'm having the best time with the contrast of the vintage and the modern. And this I printed, by the way, by mistake on my heavyweight cardstock, which is 200 GSM rather than my regular copy paper, but oh well, it's fine. And another page I need to add at the very end of my planner, and that's my book tracker. You can also find one of these linked below from my shop. So speaking of books, I have one book to add here, and I realized I have not talked about this one, which I finished actually still in April, I believe. This is book 4 of the Akotar series. It's a novella. It's the shortest one. It's only 233 pages. If you're going to read the ACOTAR series, skip this book. I'm not a fan of skipping books within a series. This is a fantasy series, by the way. I have very much enjoyed this series, but I have given this book a 2.5, which is really bad. There's no information in here whatsoever. But the book I need to add to this list, because the other one I already have in my other planner, is this one, which is currently the last, so book number 5 of the ACOTAR series by Sarah J. Maas. And this was my favorite of the whole series. So this follows Nesta, which is our main character's sister, who I didn't like at all at the beginning. But this book, oh my goodness, it has it all. Including some very, very spicy scenes. But also book number 2 and 3, I believe, had already very spicy scenes in them. So beware, if you're not into that, maybe this series is not for you. I adored this one so much. I was never bored throughout all of the 757 pages. I loved it, and I finished it on my vacation in Egypt. So good, so good. So this is the one I need to add here. I also need to print a book cover because I definitely need to give this one more space in my April signature as well. But before I do that, I also wanted to share what I'm currently reading. Originally, I thought I needed like a palate cleanser and move away from fantasy for a second, but I was still so into fantasy after finishing that 5th book. So I continued with this one, which I have been so looking forward to reading. It's all over social media. It has been for a while. I'm very late reading this, actually. Loving it. I am currently on page 361, so about, I don't know, 2/3 in the book. Let me just read you the synopsis on the back. Friends, enemies, lovers, everyone has an agenda. Violet Sorrengail expected to live a quiet life surrounded by books until she was forced onto the world's deadliest training ground. Now she must fight to join the army's elite, dragon riders. But dragons don't choose fragile riders. They incinerate them. For those of you who don't have English as your first language and you're not sure what incinerate means, it means burning. So they burn their riders. And when your body breaks as easily as Violet's does, death is only a heartbeat away. Every night could be your last. Many would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her simply because of her last name, including the ruthless Xaden Ryerson, her family's greatest enemy. With the odds stacked against her, Violet must use every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise, because once you enter Basgiath War College, there are only 2 ways out: graduate or die. So obviously the stakes are very high throughout the whole book. It has not gotten boring on a single page yet. There is action non-stop, and even though I don't feel such a close connection to the characters as I did in the ACOTAR series, I am enjoying the characters. I like character-based stories. I would say this one is a bit more plot-oriented, but still, I'm having a fabulous time. Looking forward to finishing it. Not sure about the next one. This is also the first book of a series. The next one is called Iron Flame. Many people have been very disappointed about it, so I need to think about whether I'm going to continue with this series or not. I need to do some research. And speaking of books, I did want to introduce one other book for you, which is not a novel. So there is this one, something very different. So The World Between Two Covers. 43 artists from around the world creating in and with journals, of course, naturally. So this book has been curated by Christine Ebner and Michelle Schratz and edited by Sabine Abels. Christine and Michelle were the two ladies that organized the two art journal workshops that I attended in 2023 and 2022 here in Vienna. This year, I did not attend because it was in Germany. And as I'm filming this has happened just, I think, a couple of weeks ago. If you want to be informed about these art journal festivals, they're kind of like a retreat, more or less. I will link both of Christine's and Michelle's Instagram accounts for you below, and also the art journal account below, so that you can follow them and see when the next one is next year, 2025, if you're interested. I have no idea where it will take place. In any case, they decided to make this book, and I'm so happy and honored to be part of this book. I'm not going to give you a complete flip through, but it is done so well, and Sabine did such a fabulous job of editing this. She's a pro in editing books. She's done, I don't know, over 100 books. So my page is number 80. So there it is. And these are photos from my grungy vintage junk journal. I have a playlist for that below. If you know my channel, these photos will seem very familiar to you. This one is also from that book, and then I also had to include the original ephemera from which I then created my logo. So this was a page I created during December 2022, a December daily series with my very dear friend Luise Heinzel. Also, my dear friend Honey is in this book. Let me show you that. Let me just find where she is. It's alphabetical. So there's Honey, 184. There is Sweet Honey. Oh, look at this. So this cover is very similar to the one that she made for me a long time ago. It's a journal I used to film a lot of my junk journal snacks videos in. This is so typical Honey style. I just love it. I love her color palette. This is just so gorgeous. Look, this is Honey style. Love it, love it, love it. I will also link Honey's Instagram for you below in case you want to follow her. Honey is from Germany. And there's 41 other artists to discover. This book is available on Amazon. I will add the ISBN number for you below. So in case you want to check it out, you can. It's here. Christine and Michelle made the price of this book so that pretty much only the costs of making the book are covered. So I think they only earn €1 per book. So this is not about them making money. This is about them sharing women's art from around the world. And I just love that. It also has a really nice introduction, a foreword by Kia Cannons. And an introduction here. So The World Between Two Covers is a stunning collection of works by 43 women artists from around the world who share a deep love for creating in and with books. This diverse and inclusive collection, created by Christine and Michelle, celebrates the transformative power and the unique, intuitive visual language that emerges when artists create primarily for themselves rather than an audience. I love that last part of the sentence because that's so true. Many of us never share our work anywhere on social media. We really just do it for us and for our own well-being. I just love that. So definitely worth reading the foreword as well and the introduction. Let's embrace the perfectly imperfect right now, of course, naturally. Yeah. So check it out if you're interested. So I took photos of the front and the back of the cover. I made sure they are the same size. I do this in Canva, which is free. I will link Canva's site for you below as well. And then I'm just going to cut around this. Printed this on, I think it's 180 GSM cardstock. So I'll just cut these out. I forgot to mention I'm leaving a strip on the side of one of these. Actually, it wouldn't matter which one because I need that to hinge it to my page. So I'm just going to cut these corners off. And then I'll use my scoreboard to just score along my flap. Then I can glue this on top of the other one. And ink around all of the edges. By gluing one on top of the other rather than printing on the front and back side of the page, it also makes this cover heavier so that I don't need to use a magnet or a Velcro or something like that to make it stay down on the page, which is really nice. So let's add that to the planner. Don't want to put it on this double spread because this is where I was away in Egypt and I want to add some Egypt things here. But I have another one, yeah, right here. So I can... I should have put the flap on this side, but it doesn't really matter. I can also have it opening like that. Usually I would definitely have it opening like this. Oh well. I just started doing this recently to give books that I enjoy some space in my planners rather than just adding them on the list on the back page. See, now this stays down and I can add some thoughts about my books later underneath here. So next I want to do the cover page for June. I'm telling you, I am all over the place. I hope it's okay for you that I'm kind of jumping around. So I want to add the name of the month. And this year I decided to use these stamps here by Delusions Diane Reevely. And these are called Boxed Monthly DYB 79996. I'm going to emboss this. Let's put it right in the middle there. I'm going to use gold embossing powder. I think that will look really nice on this design. Oh no, I think I waited too long. Okay, not to worry. There's always a solution. Let's find a paper. So I have this habit tracker left over. I can definitely use that. Yeah, that will go together. I will use this part down here. So let's try that again and let's try to be a little bit faster this time. Wow, that still didn't come out very well. What is happening? I don't understand why. Usually this is not a problem. Okay, one more try. This time I'll use the embossing dabber. I think this is more juicy. But usually I have no problem with the stamp pad. Maybe I need to re-ink that. Oh yeah, I can already see this is very juicy. This is going to work. There we go. Gorgeous. So then I'm just going to tear around this. Then let's ink that up. I think it needs another paper underneath to make it stand out more. I have this piece of a paper bag laying around on my desk. So let's use that. Tear around that again. This time I'll take a darker Distress Oxide. This is ground espresso. Just because the paper is already pretty dark and I don't think we would see the walnut stain on it. I'd love to add some more color to this because This currently looks a lot like fall because of the colors. Maybe I should have chosen a lighter background for my cover page, but I really love the design. So let's just add a bit of color by adding a quick and easy collage on this page. I went through my books. I found this one. This is part of a bird book series. Found that at my Goodwill. Let me see if I can find an ISBN number for you. Yep, here we go. So maybe you want to take a screenshot of this. And I found one where I'm loving the color combination. Maybe I'll just give you a quick flip through so you see how beautiful these images are. They are to die for. And I chose this one. So in German, this is a Schmetterlingsfink, and in English, a butterfly finch. Look at this gorgeous teal, and I think that will go really well with this background. So I'm going to fussy cut these. To make my life easier, I'm going to leave a white border. That makes it much easier. And also, I'm not going to cut all these very delicate branches. I'm just going to leave this main branch that these are sitting on. So that's the male with the red patch here, and that's the female behind. Also, the white edge will, of course, help them stand out from my background. But I, of course, will add a couple of other elements underneath them as well. So I have my wooden box of paper scraps here. And I'm going to try to find some that will work for our little collage. Love the handwriting and the stamp here, actually. That's perfect. What else? Usually this would obviously be the nice side, but actually I like the sticker here from the shop. We don't want to cover that beautiful round stamp. Some wallpaper strips. Tiny bit of red I think is really nice because we have the red on the male here. I think I'm okay with that. May and June just make me think of birds. Oh, I love how we have the gold here and in our embossing. That's kind of neat and not planned. And of course, that makes me want to add a third gold element here. And I just had an idea. I recently had to get these. I actually mainly got them because I wanted to add them to the memory book I'm currently making. These are by Stappers Anonymous and Tim Holtz, and they're called Paint by Number CMS 483. I just love these grungy numbers so much. And since this is June and the 6 months, I'm thinking we could add a golden 6 down here. Both of these can be used, I guess, as 6s and 9s. One is a little more chubby than the other one and a little more distressed. I think I want the slim one. I don't want it to take up so much space. This is already quite big. This is going to be interesting. Let's just try it. I'll use my embossing dabber. Worst case is we ruin our cover page. Worst case is we spill our embossing powder all over our craft desk. What did I do? Okay, let's do this first and then worry about the mess later. Ooh, looking good. Okay, let me clean this up. Okay, we are back in business. Nope, not quite. Sorry, hang on. This mixed media craft mat that comes with this glass mat is not great for embossing powder, just in case you were wondering, because the embossing powder now is sticking on the sticky side, which is probably no longer sticky. And it's very static on this side, so it's very hard to get off. It will be okay. So let's emboss this 6 finally. So that looks awesome. I'm very happy with that. So let's stick that on our first page of the month. Yay, love that. So before I want to get into making things for June, I need to take care of May because I cannot continue without having any space for to-dos or anything, but I also want to add some of my Egypt ephemera. So this was the week where I was gone. So instead of putting to-dos here, because my to-do was to have a great time on vacation with hubby, I want to add some things that I have from there, which is not a whole lot. So first of all, I want to add this here. I think I'll add this as a belly band. This is what we had around our wrists from the hotel, because it was an all-inclusive hotel, meaning that all of the drinks and food all day long, all night long were included. If you've never had Egyptian food, oh my goodness, it is so good. And that hotel does a particularly good job. They're called Pic Albatros, which is a chain palace resort in Hurghada. Let's cut the corners. And I think I have a few photos at least that I can share with you, not too much. So enjoy this footage. So this is the overview of all the pools. This is from the balcony. It was really, really fun to have so many different kinds of pools. And next we see part of the coral reefs here on the bottom where I went snorkeling. This here is a view of the Moroccan Tagine restaurant. This is me at our table. And this is the regular buffet. There were 3 buffets every night. Very friendly staff. And I know you're most interested in the desserts. So here's some of the beautiful cake options. This was, of course, changed every single day. This came usually at the evening buffets. These here are more of the local Egyptian sweets. Oh my goodness, they are to die for. I am salivating as I'm looking at these again. Oh my goodness, I want to go back. And here are some impressions of Han el Khalili, which is a famous bazaar or souk in the historic center of Cairo, where we just spent one night. And it has become one of Cairo's main attractions for tourists and Egyptians alike. It's also home to many Egyptian artisans and workshops involved in the production of traditional crafts and souvenirs. And the name Khan el Halili historically referred to a single building in the area, but today refers to the entire shopping district. And you wouldn't notice it from the pictures here, but it was so crowded there. And actually, I was happy to get out of there again because it really made me anxious. It was crazy, but absolutely gorgeous. One day I need to go there and spend more time there. Let's make the belly band a bit wider by adding it on top of some lace. Let's fray that end. I want that sticking out on this side, not so much because it will hinder the folding of the page. I think I also want to add some brads on the ends here. So let's take our crocodile and make holes on both ends of the wristband. Okay, let's glue this down. I might change this later, but for now I'm just going to add my boarding passes, and this was my luggage tag. And I don't even remember what this receipt was from, nor can I read it because it's in Arabic. But apparently I wanted to keep it, so let's keep it. I'll just stick all of this in here for now. And then I also have these placemats from a fish restaurant that we went to. And hubby kindly got me 2 clean placemats, and they have all of these fish and the seafood on here. So maybe I could cut something out from here, although the images are quite large, and put them on this paper bag, which I think I will first of all cut open because I have so many things to add. I want to make sure that this gets really bulky. I am not sure this is going to work. Well, we could do the fish head maybe. Why not? It actually works really well because we did so much snorkeling. We saw so many cool fish. Oh my goodness. There were thousands of fish again right by the hotel coral reef. We saw probably 70 to 80 at least different kinds of fish. It was absolutely amazing. And I was so freaked out about sharks the whole time I was in the water there. I actually wasn't sure whether I was going to be able to go in the ocean at all because I'm so scared of sharks. And that area in the Red Sea has sharks. And there have been shark attacks. There have been deadly shark attacks. So thinking of this, I don't know how I managed to go in the water, to be honest. But I stayed close to the hotel reef. I'm actually quite proud of myself that I managed to go because it's so worth it. Well, I guess it's not worth it if you get attacked. But I'm so glad that I was brave enough to go in because that underwater life is just incredible. Oh, and this is so perfect because these here that I've stenciled on before, they could be air bubbles. Oh my goodness, this is so perfect. I'm not even going to ink him up. Let's just glue him down. Love it when things just work out like that. But I have to say, what was weird is one day you go snorkeling and you see all these beautiful fish, and then the next day you go to a fish restaurant and eat them. That's not okay. These things pain me. So for this side, maybe I can make something work with these lobster claws. So fish in Arabic is samak. I wish I knew more Arabic. Every time I go to Egypt, I tell myself I need to learn Arabic or Egyptian Arabic. Because what I love doing is when I'm there, I love ordering my own things if we go out. Or even in the hotel, even though obviously they all speak German and English and Russian and all these languages. I love ordering in like their local language. It also gives me an opportunity to practice. And I just love ordering my own food and drinks. And I'm so happy when I can, when I don't always need to ask hubby to order things for me. And obviously the reactions are always really nice because they don't expect someone looking as white and European as me to speak any Arabic. So it's a really nice experience. I do understand some, not too much, but if I know what the topic is, sometimes I can understand tiny bits. So how does this work? Maybe I can add the restaurant name in Arabic. I changed my mind about adding the name of the restaurant because somehow I just find it macabre to have it here with these lobster claws. So instead, I'm going to make this into a pocket and add this photo of my book that I was reading there at the beach. Because the lobster claws and the beach they make a lot of sense to me. Now, I wish I would have backed this with cardstock, but I hope it's going to be okay anyway. And this one I'll just glue on. So hopefully that will stay in there. And inside the paper bag, I'm going to add some of the photos that I just printed. So this was the one from the Tagine restaurant. This was from the fish restaurant from our hotel terrace. And this one as well. And the other two, I cannot show you. They're private. No, just because it's not just me on them. So these can go in here. And then I at least also want to make a card that I can add my to-dos on for this week. Otherwise I feel lost. So let's look at the ephemera from the Petals and Prose kit from May. I think I'll use one of these tags. And then I need something to put that tag in. So either a corner tuck spot, or how about one of these? So these are stackable. You can glue this one onto the larger one or use them separately like I will now. Let's choose something that goes together. How about this pocket? And this tag. So I've sewn around this one as well. And this one is big enough to get some sort of a frame around it by backing it with another cardstock. I think this green one would go well with the colors we have here in the background. So let's glue that on. This die cut circle just kind of fell into my hands, and I'm wondering if I should add this. What do we think? Let's not overthink it and just do it. Oh, it would have been really nice to stamp on that first. Now it's too late. Okay, I think it also needs a tag topper. How about a piece of this strip here, which is from that fabric that I have on the inside cover. And yes, I should not be gluing on the tag. I always do this. And then for the back side, even though I'll be writing on it, I want something on the background. I will use this cute image here from Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. And the set is called Mini Media Marks CMS 364. And I will link this for you below. And I'll be stamping with Distress Ink Picket Fence, which is white. I love that on colored cardstock. Looks so nice. There we go. How cute. That can go in here, and I also feel like this needs a sentiment. The one that speaks to me most at the moment is the one here that says, "Be authentic." I could have just prepared everything and made the video as usual, but I thought I would pick you up where I am at the moment. This is my most authentic self you'll ever get. So Stampers Anonymous, Tim Holtz, Tiny Text CMS 394, and I can also probably link these for you below. It's so interesting how every time I look at these sentiments, a different one speaks to me depending on what's happening in my life. And that's so cool. So let's put this one on a white cardstock. So at least I have this week sorted. And finally, let's move on to June and see what we need to do here. So I also want to add some ephemera here for my to-dos. So there's no specific ephemera for this kit. Instead, I wanted to try something new with you, and I know not everybody is going to like this idea, but I wanted to run it by you because some of you might love this idea. So it's important for you to please let me know in the comments below if this is something you like. I mean, it's also, even if you don't want this for future kits, it's an option. So you could download these templates. There's 3 pages, 1, 2, and 3. And you can either just print them on cardstock, which is what I did. You could print them on an overhead transparency because that will make it easier to figure out what you actually want to cut out from your backgrounds. Or you could, if you have acetate, for example, you could first print them on cardstock or regular copy paper, cut them out, and then trace them onto the acetate. I am just going to use them as they are, so I need to cut all of these shapes out and then figure out what I want to do for this page. So do let me know, is this something you appreciate because you can make your own ephemera from whichever background pages you want? Or do you like to have the ready-made ephemera like I always had with my previous kits? Obviously, the variety of pre-made ephemera is greater than what you're able to do with background pages. But at the same time, you're a lot more flexible because you can choose what pattern you want your ephemera to have. So there's pros and cons for both versions. Do let me know what you prefer, or you like to have these anyway. Obviously, these are linked below, as well as all the other digitals for June. So you want to have these for other kits, for other background pages you might have, but you still want the printed ephemera. Just let me know what you want. I'll do what you want. For this little file folder template, I'm going to crease the middle because that's going to make rounding the corners easier, because then I can just use my little corner rounder and then do these corners here in the middle as well. And these outer ones I'll do separately. Or you can obviously just do them by hand as well, like I will for this one, because that tab is just in the way. So there's our little file folder template. And there was one more. There's this one here, which makes a pocket. I'm just going to use my circle punch. This one is a lot bigger, which doesn't matter. Wait, let me see if I have a smaller one. Yeah, I'll use this 1.5-inch circle punch. Otherwise, you just do it by hand. Doesn't matter if it fits exactly or not. So I have all of my templates cut out. Obviously, you just need to do that once and then use them over and over again. And I've printed some of those backgrounds which have more color on them on the same 180 GSM cardstock that I would usually print my ephemera on. And I just need to choose one of these to add a pocket and either a tag or a card or something that I can add onto my neutral page. Obviously, you could keep everything in neutral, so you could print out the neutral backgrounds and only use neutral ephemera with your neutral backgrounds, but I specifically wanted to add a little bit of color into my planner. So I need to choose something that will go with this here. So either that's going to be this one or this one, although I do really love the red a lot. That will be for another page. So both of these are amazing. You know what I'm going to do? I'll do the pockets from this one and then the tag from the other one. So let's choose a pocket, maybe a corner tuck spot. How about that? Let's do this corner tuck spot. Let's move these out of the way. So now I can choose where I want my tuck spot, which part of the design do I want on it. Don't really want it right in the middle of the page because I don't want to waste anything. So let's do the corner there and just trace it. And then we cut that out. So let's just erase some of these pencil marks. And now I can check my template to see where those score marks should be. So one is on the corner right there, and that needs to connect to the corner on the bottom. And then we need this one here. Like that, and then we can just fold these back. Ink it up, and we have our tuck spot. And then instead of the tag, let's actually make this little file folder. And I don't really care where this is on the page. It's all beautiful. So let's just turn it around. That way we get a nice surprise. And we can just trace this on the back where we can see it a lot better. Again, I will do the corners with my punch. And to figure out where to score this, I can just put this here, line that up, and then I can make a little mark here. And this one I do by hand. So there's our little file folder. But we need to do something with the inside. I'm going to use Distress Ink Pumice Stone together with this gorgeous stencil. This is by Studio Light, and a makeup brush. I'm going to keep this light because, again, I need this for my to-dos. So I need to be able to read my writing. I love this color. It's such a great neutral tone. It's like a warm gray. And I will also ink up these edges on the inside. Okay. So let's glue this down. Love how these go together. So this can go in here. Let's decorate this a little bit further. First, let's check the tuck spot. How about a tea bag label? I always keep those with the string. They make the best embellishments. And then I also just saw I have these tiny, tiny dragonflies. Maybe we could add some lace. Once that's inked up, that might work. 2000. Not sure what that's for, but yeah, we'll make it 2.0. Yeah, let's ink those bits up and see what that looks like. So I also found a portion of a little vintage label, and there's my little collage, and obviously it needs gold splatters. By the way, I get asked about these kinds of brushes from time to time. I call them splatter brushes, which is probably why you can never find them. Officially, they're called fan brushes, which totally makes sense given the shape. So if you search online for fan brush for paint, you will find lots of different choices. Obviously, we need both sides splattered. And our page as well. Whoops. Okay, that's okay. And we need some more down here. Oops. Oh well. It's really not intentional. Okay, stop, Barbara. So once everything has dried, I also want to add a number stamp on the tab on top. This one is from the Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous Field Notes set. I will also link that for you. Yep. I have a feeling this video is very long. Thank you if you are still with me. Let me know what you think about the ephemera idea. Do you like the templates? Do you want ready-made ephemera? And I, of course, hope you enjoy this kit. Love you guys. Mwah! Mwah!